Aloha, everyone.
Hi.
I was wrapping up another meeting, so I'm going to go live on Facebook and I will be right back with you. All right. Okay. So it is, I want to make sure I'm recording. So I said hello to everyone, but thank you so much for joining. Are you guys excited for today?
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so just to recap, it is being recorded. It's also being broadcasted live on Facebook, and then after the recording, it will be up on the YouTube channel. I'd probably say probably by Thursday, if not sooner, but definitely by Thursday, it'll be on the YouTube channel. And then if you miss it, it'll also be on A Week at a Glance that goes out on Friday. So what I wanted to share with you is this. So one of the responsibilities that I have as the MCTT, which is the Market Center Tech Trainer, is to attend the company team meetings. And so I do attend the HELO monthly team meetings. And Rochelle and I always talk about things that we feel like are going to be beneficial to the agents. And so one of the things that I shared with the HELO team 2 weeks ago was something that I have been working on my business, that I have been seeing other real high functioning real estate agents do the same thing. And so I shared with them my takeaways and what I did, and it was very valuable to them. And so then I asked the agents as well as Rochelle, I said, hey, do you think I should make this a class offer to our other KWRM agents? And they were absolutely yes. So this is the information that I'm sharing with you. So I actually was reading a book, and let me give it to you first so you can know exactly where it's coming from. And give me just a minute to find it. So it is called, by the author's name is Donald Miller, and the book is entitled Building a Story Brand. So this is where all this information is coming from. Again, a lot of high functioning agents within real estate, as well as other mega companies outside of real estate, utilize this man's system. So it's a proven system that I want to share with you, and I'll share my takeaways. The one thing that I will say to you as a tip, if you have an Amazon Prime account, and if you haven't signed up for Audible, what you can do is you can subscribe to Audibles and get this book for free, because they give you like 2 or 3 credits as a trial. So then you can download the book for free and get it. But I think the download is like maybe $10 or $15. So it's very minimal. But that's what I ended up doing. I had an Audible account, then I got rid of it, then I brought it back, and I was still eligible for the free trial. So I essentially got it for free. And it is a game changer, I'm telling you. So here are my takeaways. And then we're going to actually look at the 808 Teams website And because I feel like from a real estate perspective, that's one of the closest that I've seen within our real estate agents on Maui. And then if you want, I can also share with you some of the things that I've done on my personal website. So if you want to see that, fine, but we can definitely start with making it applicable to you. So my takeaways are this. First, the first thing you want to understand is this: when you signed on to Keller Williams, you signed on to just that, Keller Williams Worldwide. And so there's not too many people that, even if they don't understand what real estate is, they've heard Keller Williams. And so when you sign on to Keller Williams, my first question, or the first question that Donald Miller will ask you is, what is your brand? What is the number one thing that you're communicating? So now that you are under the umbrella of KW, how are you branding yourself within KW? So I'm using this, kind of this umbrella, and you're here, but how are you branding yourself under that umbrella? That would be my first overarching question. So the second thing I would ask you, based on Donald Miller's book, what is the number one problem that you are solving? So think about this, take a step back and think about if you're new, you'll have to go at it a different way. But for the seasoned agents, take a step back, think about all of the transactions that you've done, or the people that you've worked with. And maybe you haven't, had your first transaction with Keller Williams, but think about all the added value that you bring. What is that number one problem that you are solving for your agents, or for your clients? So that would be the second piece of it. The third piece is, who is the hero in your marketing strategy? So let me put those two pieces together for you from a practical standpoint. First, identify who you are within KW, what you want to communicate in terms of your brand, and then what is that number one problem that you are solving. I would do a brain dump, if you will, of all of the attributes. And here's what I did. Let me give you a real practical example. So for me, what I did is this. I went back, because I have a lot of reviews. I went back and looked at every single review from the last 10 years of my business. And I pulled out keywords and phrases that my actual clients said about me in my review. So I took that as my guide, and whatever those comments were. And then from there, I formulated what we call what Donald calls a one-liner. What is a simple one-liner that describes who you are, but most importantly, what you do? You have to address what you do for that client. That should be your one-liner. The one-liner should also be very simple and repeatable. So I'm going to pick on Teresa, because I love Teresa. I love you all, but Teresa, I'm going to pick on you. So Teresa, when your friends and family who know you are in real estate, how would they describe what you do? So if, they say Auntie Teresa, is in real estate, would they have a one-liner that they could just, spew out and say she's a, house fixer, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So does anyone in your family, could they, in one sentence or less, explain what you do for your clients?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing that they say that is that I'm focused and tenacious. So
Okay.
that's the key things that come up.
Exactly.
But I don't know that that's a one-liner, and I'm not always sure that that's a good thing. It's because I send them away.
So what Donald Miller was talking about was having a one-liner that summarized that end result. So whatever the end result is that you want your clients to have, that's what you want to highlight. For example, for me, my one-liner, let's make it very clear, is your design goal plus my expertise equals outstanding design results. Bam. It's
Mhm.
clear what I'm doing. It's clear what's going to happen at the end. And I'm bringing the client on in this process. So I'm saying, this is me. And it's a one-liner that is repeatable and that I can share it, and I can actually have it not only on my email signatures, on my website, every marketing collateral that you have, you want to put that one-liner. You know, if you just want to say, I'm your real estate resource, keep it simple. Then make sure that you have in your email signature, I'm your real estate resource. In all of your communication, I'm your real estate resource. Have it multiple times. Keep it simple. You don't have to, think of some grand thing, but just simple. If you just want to say I'm your real estate expert, or, expertise, or whatever it is, keep it simple, repeat it ad nauseum to your husband's like, or your wife's like, I wish you'd be quiet. That way people know it, because it'll be top of mind. And so that's the one thing that he said. So here's another takeaway, and then I'm going to stop talking for a minute. The other big thing was, who is the hero in your marketing? I had mentioned that earlier, but here's the thing. You've got to really take a step back, because I looked at my stuff and I was like, ooh, I kind of presented myself as the hero. I can do this, and this is what I'm going to do. But you got to take a step back, because you have to put yourself in the shoes of the client. What is the result that I want to communicate? How can I put my client in that hero position? And then it's kind of like, Batman and Robin. They need to be Batman. I need to be Robin. You know what I mean? So they need to feel like you are bringing something to the table for them. They are the hero. They are the ones. And essentially they are, because they're the ones that are hiring you or signing the, proposal to work with you. So make sure that you take a look at your marketing. And at the end of the day, is this more about you, or is it about them? I had to answer that tough question for me. It was about me. And Cheryl knows I am not selfish at all, but my marketing was all about me. And it should be all about the client and what I'm doing for them.
I
Cheryl,
think that's such a good point, because I think everybody, we all think about it. Well, what can I do for my client? And you make that focus on yourself. Even generally in real estate, you see it everywhere. You see their pictures everywhere, and me. I like the idea of flipping that.
Right. And you can still have your pictures and do all that stuff, but, promote what you're solving for them, not, I'm the answer, even though you could be. Okay. So then, who is the hero of your marketing? And then I already mentioned this, the hero is not you, which, I had to take a gut check for that one. It's not about me. So then again, I already talked about this one, but just repeating it, make sure that one-liner is clear and repeatable. I've already done this. I reached out to my friends and family and just said, I'm doing a remarketing blitz, and this is what I'm doing. And they all think I'm crazy, but that's okay. So you just want to get it out there. So the next two things I want to talk about are website revision and reviews. Oh my goodness. This was a game changer for me. Okay, so let's start with the website revision. Here is the funnels that Donald Miller had. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen to make this clear so you can see this. Okay, so you all see my blank blue screen?
Yep.
And let's go to the 808 team. So can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So a couple of things that Donald Miller mentioned that the 808 team does very well. And then I can also show you another example if you want to. The first thing is you have to have your one-liner. Has to be very visible. Their one-liner is, let's bring you home. That's their one-liner. I would also reiterate that one-liner should be in your email signatures. It should be on all of your marketing collateral. I'm telling you right now, with my one-liner, I'm making some t-shirts for myself, and I'm gonna, when I go to Safeway, when I go to wherever out and about in the streets, I'm gonna have my t-shirt. I'm actually getting it made in 2 weeks. Get a t-shirt, get a hat, get whatever, get a bag, get a bandana, whatever you do you, but get something to where it's top of mind. So whatever your one liner is, have it at the top. He mentioned making sure that you have your logo at the top left, which they do. It's not big, but it's definitely prominent. And then on the top right, he suggested that you have your call to action. What is your call to action? So at the end of the day, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to text you? Whatever it is you want them to do. And you can put that also in your KW branded website. So you can reach out to me and or Robert, and we can help you do that. The thing that you want to do as your call to action is it has to be clear and again, repeatable. So Donna Miller says that you would want to put it at the top right, which here theirs is connect. He also suggests changing the color. So it should be somewhere on the top right, middle section, bottom section, typically the bottom left. So kind of like a little, diagonal. So top right, middle, lower left. And he would suggest that you do a separate color tab. For me, what I did, you can take it or leave it. I did a very simple one. I did let's chat. So my call to action is let's chat for 30 minutes, free of charge. Click on my Calendly link. It's a free link that I'm using, free connector that I used on my website. You can also put that in your KW branded website. And so I have let's chat in the top, let's chat in the middle, let's chat at the bottom. So I'm constantly repeating, what do I want you to do? Let's chat. Put it in my email signature, all the collateral. At the end of the day, you put let's chat. You put your, whatever it is you're going to do, you put that in there. So let me stop talking about that piece only for the website and see what feedback, questions, comments you have. Or ahas, or you done it already? Is it working?
Well, a few things that came up was great minds think alike. So I was in the MRE class this morning that they're reviewing. It's a book club, and Eric Bradley is reading the book, and he said the same thing that you said, that it's a game changer and that you definitely want to pick that up. Second thing that came to mind is the website review, because I've been looking at my website, and sometimes it feels like all the language is already taken. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody already has about the home and about building your dream, and I had used Dream Portal on mine, but it's like it's almost cliche. Mm-hmm. So it's finding that right languaging that really does set you apart and is authentic and says something meaningful versus something generic brand, right? This is beautiful, but I didn't think so. I totally how do I find that?
Yeah, I totally hear you. And so here's two things you may want to consider if you have not already done it, in terms of, trying to find that sweet spot for you, Teresa, or anyone that's joining in. Number one, you may want to fleece your ideas out to other people that are not in the industry. So for example, for me, I picked people that were not in the design industry. I picked people, like, for example, I sent this out to the person that does my website. I sent this out to my graphic designer, and I sent this out to my friends and family. And I said, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think about that? I got a lot of good feedback from people that are not within the industry that helped me, kind of craft or hone, or my favorite word, curate something that I felt like was going to work. So that would be one option if you haven't done that. And then the other option that worked for me, or which I also did, is going back and looking at those reviews. Those reviews will tell you how your clients see you. So all of those things that they mentioned about what you do, your tenacity, your follow through, or whatever it is, marinate on that. So I'm going to tell you right now, the process that it took for me from the beginning of the time that I read the book to actually really sitting down and making some changes, it took me 3 weeks. And it's going to take some time. So first of all, you have to be willing to take the time. Secondly, you have to see the value in it. Then you can be tenacious and do it. So I would say those are the things that helped me. And from hearing other people and watching other agents and like snooping and checking out their websites and their Instagrams, they have been on that same trajectory path. And so that's what I would encourage if you haven't done it already. So
I'm
then,
starting,
okay.
But I also don't want to plagiarize. You know?
Yes, exactly. So that's why I say, you know, the best way that I could say it is people that really know you, i.e. your family and friends or people that you work with closely that may not be in the industry, can help you see differently and add, you know, that little extra that you need. And so I would say definitely don't hesitate to reach out to them. So then here, you know, they've got, you know, what's your, basically, are you looking for to sell a property? Help me sell. You want to get an estimate on your value. So they clearly identify what ways they're helping. Then they have their featured listings, which all of you would have. And then they have their testimonials. So, and then just more things that they're listing. And then, you know, what it's like to work with us. This is huge. You need to spell out the process of what it is to work with you. Like, what's the first thing? What's the second thing? What's the third thing? Or whatever it may be. Why would they work with you? Or what's that process like? And I can show you another example in a minute, but then this is just their footer. So that's the website piece of it. Any other comments or questions? Are you up for me showing you one other example and then we'll go into the reviews? Is that good with everybody? I want to make sure I have your. Okay. So here is mine. So you can see the same thing is just in a little different format.
Elisa, Latasha, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
How have you found, so we have our websites, you know, kind of generically designed by KW, and it's awesome to have a free website and not to have to pay for a professional design. But have you found that they're a little restrictive, or can we, I mean, it doesn't look like 808s is
exactly. Yeah, so they're not using the command branded website, but here's what I would say to you. There are workarounds with plugins that I am more than happy to help you with. So if there are certain things, once you figure out what it is you want to add, there are some workarounds that we can get into that we can create landing pages within your website, and then we could give you that same experience. And so there are some workarounds that I'd be more than happy to share with you.
Great. I think I'll have to book some time.
Okay. All right. So again, you have your clear call to action. So mine is, like I said, let's chat. It's in a different color. And then I have my slider. And then here's my one-liner, your design goals, my expertise, outstanding results. Then I have, basically, this is my summary. So if you struggle with implementing your design goals, you may feel frustrated or overwhelmed. Notice that I'm focusing on the client, how they feel, what's going on with them. And these times, you know, now I've got my, you know, they are my Batman. Now I'm the Robin coming in. And these times, Little Details has the solution you need. I incorporate my design expertise, attentive and friendly service to produce outstanding results. Again, I'm putting them in the hero, me is, you know, them Batman, me Robin. Again, let's chat. The collaboration process, what it's like to work with me, it starts from chat, consultation, collaboration. Simple. Explanation of what that is, and then just my services, which I'll put down, then testimonials that they can see, and then how to contact me, and then my preferred social media platform is Instagram, and then just my footer. Again, let's chat here. So that would be the recommendation from the website standpoint. So let me share with you, I'm gonna stop sharing. The other thing, reviews. So I used to, which, you know, I've been delivered. I used to just do this. I go through the process, get to the end. Hey, here's a link, write a review. what happens is that I'm putting more pressure on the client than I need to, because I need to set the stage for what I actually am looking for. So instead of sending this blanket open statement, write a review, flip it, ask them specific questions. Keep it simple. I love threes. You can do whatever you want to do, but 3 overarching questions. And I have a handout that I will email to you, but 3 questions that get to the heart of the matter. And here's the thing. So a lot of you in real estate, which is amazing, and I've seen a lot of people do, is they have video testimonials. And so with the video testimonials that I've done in the past, and other agents have done, is they will ask specific questions that they want their client to ask. And I'm like, silly. I'm like, why weren't you just doing that for all your reviews? Why would you just hold the questions for the video? Why wouldn't you take those same questions that you're asking them and put it in like a Survey Monkey and a link? You can do that on your KW website. You can come up with, go to Survey Monkey for free, type in the 3 questions or the how many ever questions, or if it's 1 question, I don't know what it is. You can link that to your webpage, and then you have more of the information that you're really after. And so then on top of that, let's say you ask 3 questions. Then you have multiple ways to communicate that. So, how was it working with me? The other thing that you want to keep in mind is like the transformation. Like, what was it like, before Teresa, after Teresa? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, make sure that you have that transformation piece on it. So here's a couple of things that, for the review, questions that you could potentially ask. First, what is the problem you were having before you discovered my product, my service, whatever? So that's the first question you could potentially ask. First, what is the problem you were having before you discovered my product or my service? It's the first question you could potentially ask, or wordsmith it to whatever your vernacular is, what works for you. Second, what did your frustration feel like when you tried to solve the problem yourself? Now, these are just scripted information from Donald Miller specifically, but you can wordsmith this anyway in terms of, what frustration did you have before hiring me, or whatever you want to say. The third question, and these are actually from the book, what was different about my product or my service? Again, the third one, what was different about my product or service? And again, these questions are from the book. The fourth one was, take me to the moment you realized my product or service was actually solving your problem. Again, that transformation process. Again, the fourth question was, take me or take us to the moment you realized our product was actually solving the problem. And then the fifth question, tell us or tell me what it looks like now that our product has or will solve your problem. Again, that transformation process. Again, I'll repeat it. The fifth one, tell me or tell us what it looks like now that my product or service has or will solve the problem. However you want to, write that or communicate that. So let me ask you this question. What is the difference between coming up with these types of questions? You don't have to have these, but these could be a springboard to you creating your own, as opposed to just write a review.
They could talk about anything, not just kind of what you'd like to portray and bring forward.
Exactly. And then, from a marketing standpoint, which I love, is that the questions, you can parse those out and sprinkle them throughout your social media platforms. So instead of having this one version or one way to put on your Facebook or put on your whatever, you've got 5 different answers that you can funnel and parse out at different points in times, all from one client. So you're leveraging your marketing potential and your strategy by being, having a structured system just in reviews. And you can put that on your KW branded website. And it would be just a game changer in terms of, stretching out the content, because, content is king or queen, whichever way you want to look at it. And the more content you have, the more transformational stories you can communicate to people, the more people are going to be inclined with working with you, Brendan, or Cheryl, or Teresa, or Crystal, in terms of, I know this person can do it because other people say it. So I want that same experience. I want to be transformed, and whatever.
And it's great because everybody has a different problem, a different way that they're going to see what was their particular issue. So that'll be interesting.
Yes. So that was kind of the highlight of what I saw and what I listened to, and what I've also seen high functioning agents utilize in their marketing strategies. And then also across the real estate, beyond real estate, other, Fortune 500 companies work with Donald Miller specifically because they want to make sure that they are communicating the right brand and the right message. And so he breaks it down. There's much more content, but I just kind of parsed out what I felt like would be the most kind of buckets, if you will, and that you can easily put that in your MyKW branded website, or if you have another website platform. Was this helpful?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very helpful.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any takeaways before we wrap up?
I got a lot more work to do.
Yeah, can't you wave your magic tech wizard wand and just have it all done for us?
But the one thing I will say to your point, Teresa, is yes, it is a lot of work, but it's worth it. And even though for me, I've been doing the side stuff for a while, I really feel invigorated. I really feel like now I really have a clear message. And I thought I had a clear message, but I just have much more clarity around it now. And I feel very optimistic about it. But yes, I did put in the hard work, but I feel like it's really going to pay off. And it actually already has. So I would just, have that vision, whatever your vision is. I redid my vision. So I have a big picture in front at my home and my monitor on top of my monitor. And it's just like, now I have a different vision, a different goal. And I just feel like so much more synergy and just so, I just feel like it's going to be a game changer for me. I really do. So, and we all need that extra oomph, especially coming out of the year we've had last year, and, still some residuals, but for the most part, we're coming out.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions, Crystal? Anything you want to add? Anybody else? Emily? Anybody else that's still on the call? Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time. I know you guys have a lot of other things and other classes that you could partake in. But again, the video should be up by Thursday on YouTube. And then Friday within a week at a glance. And I just encourage you to download that book, however you're doing it, the audio book. I'm on the West Side working for Keller Williams. And so on my West Side trips, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I would just listen to that book. So, do what you can and either listen to it on Audible or, read it, however you want to do it. But I would encourage you to read it because it really changed me. It really did, for the better. And I'm glad I read it. So, and hopefully you will feel too. So hopefully I'm not telling you anything wrong. I try not to tell you anything wrong. I hope you understand. I never try to tell you anything wrong. So, but hopefully.
Thanks, Latasha. Is there a document or something you said you were going to email to us too?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. So what I will do is I will also put it in the week at a glance. But what I did is I went and did some research for real estate agents in terms of the top review questions. And so I'll get that to you guys.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Latasha.
Good day. See y'all soon.